Hey, Wrong World Entertainment, and there is a character in the Star Wars universe a lot of people would have liked to have seen, either on the big screen or I suppose at this stage, the small screen, who never got the time to shine, who was never brought into the stories, and thanks to the Disney trilogy, would make no sense to be brought in, at least in the films. That character, of course, is Mara Jade, or who later became Mara Jade Skywalker. But there is now a new rumour that they are looking to bring in Mara Jade in possibly her own series on Disney+. Talk about grasping for straws at this late stage in the game. This is pure desperation. Now, where do you think this rumour comes from? It is, of course, my time to shine. Once again, I am convinced that this guy is Mike Zero. But we are going to have a look at this rumour, this article that goes over it and stuff. Of course, just before we do, yes, it is that time. If you don't mind, do the channel a favour and smash the sub button, the like button, the share button, all the buttons. A lot of yous watch, a lot of yous aren't subbed. Sub! Join the party. Let's all have a laugh at this disaster that is Hollywood nowadays together. And hopefully get it back on track where we're just entertained. No political messaging shoved in our entertainment, any of that stuff. We all band together, we get that job done. So, welcome and smash that sub button. Do it. Now, let's jump into this. That's out of the way. So, it says, in Timothy Zahn's Heir to the Empire trilogy, the Star Wars fans met Mara Jade and learned she was once the Emperor's hand. Undercover in Jabba the Hutt's palace during the events of Return of the Jedi, she didn't make it onto the sail barge in time and failed to assassinate Luke Skywalker. Palpatine's loyal soldier subsequently blamed him both for Palpatine's defeat and the fact she lost everything, prompting her to hunt Luke down for years later. Despite initially setting out to kill the Jedi, Mara ultimately realized that Palpatine planted the idea in her head at the moment of his death and embraces the idea of being a Jedi too. After ridding herself of the Sith's voice by dealing the death blow to Luke, spelt with two U's, a clone of Luke, i.e. Luke Skywalker, created by a dark Jedi. Eventually, she and Luke marry and have children, something we know can't happen thanks to the Star Wars sequel trilogy. We could, however, still see Mara introduced as a compelling new female protagonist who is front and center in this next era of storytelling. For many fans, the hope is that Dave Filoni, oh god, might introduce her in the upcoming Star Wars movie, also rumored to be titled Heir to the Empire. This is his movie, not the Grogu and Mandalorian movie, by the way. So Scooper, My Time to Shine, brings word that Lucasfilm is developing a TV series revolving around Mara Jade. While we'd imagine most of her history with Luke will be scrapped, you don't say, there are still ways to adapt her history as the Emperor's hand, and for all we know, she and Luke did cross paths before his self-imposed exile. Of course, as we know, they've been introducing Luke into the series with their whole deepfake technology AI crap. They could easily do that, but it probably still requires Mark Hamill to come in and provide the voice, which he's been doing, so God only knows. At this stage, as everyone says, just use Sebastian Stan. Personally, I think just scrap all your ideas because they all suck and you can't get Star Wars right. You've killed Star Wars, so just stop. But anyway, this continues because, oh yeah, I did forget to say, the person they're looking at, what a horrendous choice. So if you're excited about hearing, oh my god, yes, I would actually enjoy seeing Mara Jade, your expectations and hopes are about to be dashed when you hear who they're looking at, or who this rumor says they are considering to play Mara Jade. So, the Insider has also revealed that Spider-Man No Way Home star Zendaya is also being considered for a Star Wars role. Mara Jade isn't mentioned, though we're sure you'll agree that she'd be a good fit for the character. No. No, she wouldn't. Ahsoka was reportedly a hit for Lucasfilm. I loved that they had to put that reportedly. No, it wasn't. It failed. Season 2 is already in the works, so another female-led series featuring a badass lightsaber-wielding warrior stands a good chance of being just as successful, regardless of who plays the lead. And then this just goes on and shills for this whole crap. Ahsoka was not a massive hit. It wasn't. It barely charted. I think it charted at like number 10. It's one of the worst viewed shows for Disney Plus when it comes to Star Wars content. You trying to say, oh, if Zendaya gets to play Mara Jade, it's sure to be just as much of a success. So you're thinking if they make this show and put it out and it charts at number 10 or worse, that's going to be a success. Yeah, no. And yes, we do have Ahsoka 2 coming out, which will also probably be a disaster. And the biggest telltale signs of just how bad Star Wars is under Disney and what kind of state it's actually in will be next year when Mandalorian and Grogu hit the big screen. Because those are the numbers they can't hide. Whatever that brings onto the box office, yeah. Now we know they can buy tickets. They can buy tickets and not actually go see the movie. They can just buy certain cinemas out to make it look like it's successful. It still won't do the numbers they think it should do. We know they moved money from the parks into their movie end to go, oh, see, it didn't lose money. We know it will lose. Mandalorian and Grogu, how are you going to convince, particularly your everyday Joe Soap, to go and see that? When they find out who are these characters. Oh, you want to know who they are? Go watch 3 seasons of this thing, a season of that thing, and 2 episodes of that thing. It's like they just go, yeah, no. So if that fails, and no doubt it probably will fail at the box office, that's a clear indication that Star Wars truly is dead. And of course, The Acolyte was an absolute disaster that they cancelled. Skeleton Crew has performed worse than The Acolyte, even though people were like, it's not the worst of all the things, it's actually decent enough. The fact of the matter is, nobody watched it because it was already dead. You try and bring in Mara Jade. At this stage, I think a lot of the hardcore fans will go, well, what's the point in bringing her in now? But then you also have the issue of, well, who's actually going to watch it? Because a lot of the normies, again, won't have a clue and will never have heard of Mara Jade. You try and tell them, oh, that's Luke Skywalker's wife. They're going to go, Luke wasn't married. What are you talking about? There's just so much history with this character that I don't think they would focus on. And they really can't because they've gotten rid of Luke and have destroyed the character. Zendaya playing the role would be even worse. This is the type of character that should have been introduced alongside Luke and have the two of them be badasses in The Force Awakens. But we know what they did there. So we'll find out sooner or later whether or not this is true or not. But that's the rumour doing the rounds, that they're looking to do a Mara Jade series, and the possibility that they are looking at Zendaya to be the lead in that. God help us all if that turns out to be true. So with that, I shall leave it there for this one. Like, share, subscribe. Cheers, and I will catch you in the next one.